So how did Shark Tank affect our business? It was critical. It was without Shark Tank, we wouldn't be around. Now, um, it's not just because of the exposure we got, but if we had not had the exposure we had, we wouldn't have had the leads come in that would have kept us afloat for that time period. Now, I probably should mention something that I don't like to mention. I really don't want to focus on. Um, we mentioned we have some partners. Now, post separating from those partners and paying um, to buy our company back, we needed to have the revenue from the leads that were in their lead pool. So we agreed to pay them a commission, which we paid them. We paid them every bit of their commission. Although, um, that doesn't matter if somebody wants to sue you. So they sued us saying we didn't pay the commission. And we ended up, and we were like, we don't have the money to pay you. We had zero money. We had nothing. So, so whether they wanted, I mean, the way they calculated the commissions was 110% of the revenue coming in, period. You can't pay a commission and survive on 110%. And that's because they were paying brokers and they didn't, but the contract was very solid and we were in the right. And we did everything proper, absolutely proper, exactly the way they treated themselves when they were managing the company. So we feel like we were fair and proper, although it doesn't matter. So the next 2 years we spent in litigation. Now, why did we fight it? It's because we didn't have the money to pay them. Not only that, we didn't owe it. So in the end, we did end up settling, and we've had to dig out of that hole again. But that was the end of it. We finally just at least flushed it and was able to get away. But without our exposure on Shark Tank, there's no way we would have survived. Now, I probably should mention something, and I hate to say this, and I hope this doesn't come out the right or wrong way. When we were being dismissed from our company by these partners, my wife was in a private conversation with my partner, and the private conversation said, if you fight us on letting us have, or us taking the company, we'll destroy you. And so we believe that the only reason that they sued us was to fulfill the promise of destroying us. Now, why do I say why do I believe that? Because they spent $250,000 on lawyers to gain $100,000. That makes no sense. It's not business sense. That's not logic. If you really believe what you believe, you would have made a good business decision going to court. That made no sense. Now, why did we settle? It's because the judge that we got, and this is the problem with the legal system, it's a crapshoot. And especially when it comes to district judges and not federal judges. Because we had a district judge, and the judge didn't want to hear it. She agreed in our claims, but wouldn't hear them. And why is that? Because after 2 years of litigation, she said, go to mediation. 2 years in litigation. And she doesn't want to hear the case. She says, go to a mediator. Well, at that point in time, our biggest threat was the fact that they could get awarded, we could win the case in court and lose on attorney's fees. And that would be more than the settlement. So we took the risk and to move on, and we paid them. Now, how do we pay them? We had to make it fun, and it wasn't actually fun. We were giving it to them, but we went and got $110,000 in ones and coins, and we let our kids run through it. And then we bagged it up and weighed it and dropped it on their doorstep at 7 o'clock at night when they couldn't get to the bank. Yeah, okay. It wasn't a nice thing to do, but oh well.